Hello guys, I'm Manoj TS. I'm going to explain you the derivation regarding the internal field in case of liquids and solids of one dimensional. So if you see, let's consider the total electric field as ET, okay, and let's consider the neighboring electric field as EIN, okay. So the total electric field ET acting at the location of a given atom is given by the sum of electric field created by the neighboring atoms EI and applied electric field. So choose applied electric field as E, okay. And so if you see the total electric field acting at the location of the given atom, so the electric field acting at the location of the given atom will be equal to the sum of electric field created by the neighboring atoms and as well as the applied electric field. So consider if X is an atom, okay. So let A1 and A2 be the neighboring atoms and let B1 and B2 be the neighboring atoms. Let C1 and C2 be the neighboring atoms, and as on it continues, okay. So let the distance between A1 and A2 be D and D, okay. Let the distance between this X and B1 be 2D, and let for B2 be 2D, and let this distance between X and C1 be 3D, and the distance between X and C2 be 3D, okay. So here we need to understand that this A1, A2, A3 and B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3 and everything which goes on continues, right? So all these are the neighboring atoms which is acting at the point X, okay. So if you see this is X, this X is also an atom where all the electric field A1, B1, C2 everything is been acting on that atom X, okay. So these are nothing but they are all called as dipoles, okay. And EI is nothing but the electric field at internally created. So the electric field is nothing but it is the electric field created at internally between the neighboring atoms which is exerted on X, okay. So if you see we have total electric field which is given by, we all know the total electric field is nothing but the applied electric field plus internal electric field. So let me draw you a simple diagram and let me understand you. So if you see, okay, let this be plus and let this be minus. Consider this is a dipole, okay, and this is the angle between them, and let this be ER and let this be E phi, okay. So the equation for ER is given as nu cos theta by 2 pi epsilon naught r cube, and the equation for E phi is given as nu sine theta by 2 pi epsilon naught r cube. So if you see, consider the case if theta will be equal to 0, what will happen? So if theta is equals to 0, then the electric field due to A1 and A2 on X, that is the electric field due to A1 and A2 exerted on the atom X is given by, let me show you. Consider that EA1 will be equal to, so if cos theta, if theta is equals to 0, what will happen? Cos theta whole term will become 1. So if I put sine here, theta is equals to 0, what will happen? This whole term will become 0, and 0 divided by anything will be 0. So here the equation retains as it is, because cos theta will be equal to 0, so that 0 will be equal to 1. If theta is equals to 0, so cos theta will be equal to 1. Okay, now consider EA1. Okay, so if here cos theta will be equal to 1 because theta is equals to 0, so EA will become nu 2 pi epsilon naught d cube. So why I am taking d cube is because, see, if you see here r, don't get confused. Let's say simply r is equals to d. Okay, so now here EA2 will be equal to, so this is EA atom exerting on X. Okay, then what about A2 atom exerting on X? So that is also will be equal to mu by 2 pi epsilon naught d cube, right? So EA and E2 are the two atoms which is inside between this X. Okay, and let's A1 and A2, these two electric field acting on X, so that only we are being now considering as EA1 and EA2, and we are finding the electric field between them, and this is called internal electric field. We must remember that. So if you see the total electric field, EA will be equal to EA1 plus EA2. Okay, this is EA1 and this is EA2. So what will happen if I add everything? EA1 plus EA2 will be equal to 2 nu pi 2 pi epsilon naught d cube. So here the 2 will get cancelled. So therefore EA will be what? Nu pi epsilon naught d cube. Sorry, it's d cube. Okay, so similarly now let's find out for the atom B1 and B2. Okay, let's find out for atom B1 and B2. So electric field due to B1 and B2 at X is given by, so EB1 will be equal to what? mu by 2 pi epsilon naught. So here we took r is equals to d, right? Because if you see in this diagram, first because of r we took d and it is only single d, but here the distance is 2d, right? So let us take here 2d whole cube. So now what will happen? This will be EB1. Okay, now I'll consider EB2. This will also will be equal to mu by 2 pi epsilon naught 2d cube. Okay, so now, so here we need to focus. If I add this both EP1 plus EP2 in order to get EP, total energy, so what will happen? EP will be equal to, any guess? Nothing, it's same. See here this 2, what will happen? 2 nu divided by, so what will happen? This will be as it is, 2 pi epsilon naught, this will become 2 cube will be equal to 8, and this will become d cube. So what will happen? 2 get cancels, so 8 will be remaining as it is. So 8 I will take as 2 cube. 2 cube is equal to 8, right? So I will take here as 1 by 2 cube into mu divided divided by epsilon naught pi. Okay, so there is nothing changed over here. We need to remember that only I've taken, instead of 8, 2 cube, that's it. Okay, and next similarly what will be for EC? Same, EC1 plus EC2 also will be equal to EC will be equal to. So here if you see the distance between C1 and C2 is what? So if you see the distance between C1 and C2 is 60, whereas the distance between X and C1 is 3D, right? So here while using distance I should use mu by here 3 cube. I will say why it is 3 cube. So if you take here 3, so what will happen? 3D whole cube. So 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. So what will happen? 27D cube. So 27 can be written as what? 3 cube. So 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. So I have taken here 3 cube. So similarly for ED will be what? ED will be mu by 4 cube has gone. So if you see ED, EF, EG, everything will go on continuing this number. Okay, everything will be same, but only this number will be changing. Okay, so we must understand this. So next, if this is, I'm finding E internal energy exerted on the atom X, the internal energy of the electric field or exerted on the atom X. Okay, so now here let's see, E internal energy will be equal to what? I'll sum up everything because all these atoms are indirectly what? They are exerting their electric field in X, right? So I'll take the sum of all the internal field exerting on X. Let's say it is EA plus EB plus EC plus ED and so on. Okay, and now here we need to very clearly understand that I need to substitute all those formulas in that. So I'll take EIN, it will be equal to, the formula for that is mu epsilon naught here dq. So for this is for EA and this is for EB, what will happen? Mu same, but only 2 cube is been added, epsilon naught e cube and plus mu 3 cube by epsilon naught 3 cube and so on, so on, so on. So what will happen here? I'll take E in is equals to, I'll take this as common, I'll take this 1 here itself, 1 by 2 cube. I'll take this only common here and this also common here. Similarly it will be going on, and here I'll take mu by epsilon naught. Okay, so what will happen? EIN will be equal to 1 plus 2 by 3 plus cube plus 1 by 4 cube plus and so on. So remember this term, what will happen? The series of these we have been found a solution. So for this the solution is 1.2. Remember only for these series the solution is 1.2. Okay, so what will happen? EIN will be ultimately equal to 1.2 and this new put as it is here. Okay, so now we got this internal energy exerted on the atom X, and now we need the final solution. So what will be the final solution? So that E applied field is there, right? Remember now I am applying here an electric field. Okay, I am applying an electric field. Now we found out EIN, which is internal field exerted on X, which has been created by these atoms, but I am giving separately an applied field, external field. Okay, so that I will take as E. Okay, so as we saw, EF total energy will be equal to applied field plus internal field. So now E internal field we have been found, then what about EA, that is applied field? I'll take that EA as generally E. Okay, so now that ET will be equal to E plus what is EI? At EI we have found out here, right, as it is. So this is the expression for the total energy and the internal field acting in case of liquids and solids in one dimensional. Hope you understood, guys. Thank you.